Right now, America is a country split in two. Under one sky, you've got a crisis of absolutely unprecedented heat, and under the other, a spectacular celestial show. The thing is, both of these events are happening at a time of year they absolutely shouldn't be. This is a story of a nation really at the mercy of some extreme weather.
I mean, it's March, but for tens of millions of Americans, let's be honest, spring has been completely canceled. In its place is a full-blown, dangerously early summer. Get this. We're talking about more than 100 cities spread all across the country that are on the verge of shattering their all-time March heat records. This is not just a warm spell. It feels like something much bigger is shifting.
So let's just dig into what's actually being broken here, because the scale of this is, well, it's just staggering. We're watching history get rewritten in real time. Okay, take Phoenix, Arizona. They just hit 100 degrees. That is the earliest triple-digit day in the city's entire recorded history, and that's a record that's been standing since 1896. They're basically experiencing May temperatures in March. And then there's this. For the very first time in its history, the San Francisco Bay Area, a place that's, famous for its cool weather, had to issue a heat advisory in March. That has literally never happened before. The records are just falling everywhere you look. Santa Ana, California hit 100 degrees, Palm Springs an unbelievable 103, Redwood City hit 93 degrees for the first time in almost a century. Even Flagstaff, Arizona, which is way up in the mountains, set a new record at 73 degrees. So the big question is why? Why is this happening? What on earth is causing this oppressive mid-summer kind of heat when it's supposed to be early spring? Well, the culprit is something meteorologists call a heat dome. And the best way to picture it is just like putting a giant lid on a pot of boiling water. You get this powerful high-pressure system that just stalls out over a region, and it traps all the air, compresses it, and literally just bakes the ground day after day after day. But here's what's so alarming. This isn't your normal run-of-the-mill heat dome. Its strength, its intensity, it's what scientists would typically expect to see in, say, June. This is a June-level weather event happening in the first quarter of the year. But as the West and the Southwest are just baking under this heat, the atmosphere is putting on a completely different kind of show up in the North. Something beautiful, but again, equally unusual. It turns out a pretty significant solar storm is hitting Earth right now, and it's supercharging the atmosphere, pushing the northern lights, the aurora borealis, way farther south than you would normally ever get to see them. What does that mean for you? Well, it means millions of Americans, all the way from Washington State, clear across to Maine, might actually get to see one of nature's most incredible displays, maybe right from their own backyard. It's a really rare opportunity. So what are we actually looking at when we see the aurora? It's literally the sky itself lighting up. You have all these charged particles from that solar storm, and they come slamming into gases like oxygen and nitrogen high up in our atmosphere. And those collisions, they release energy in the form of light, creating those famous, beautiful, dancing curtains of color. So you've got these two Americas, right? One is baking under record heat, and the other is watching the sky glow. But the beauty of the aurora just can't hide the real danger of the heat wave, because beyond just the shocking numbers, there are serious, cascading consequences that are going to impact millions of people for months to come. This heat is creating what experts are now calling a snow drought. Just look at this chart for the snowpack in Colorado. It's at its lowest level for mid-March in 40 years. This intense early heat is just rapidly melting what little snow there is. And this number right here really illustrates the problem over in California. The Sierra snowpack, which is basically a vital natural water reservoir for the state, is at a dangerously low 42% of its average. And all of it is melting way, way too fast. And here's the crucial point. It's a chain reaction. The record heat melts the already low snowpack. That snowpack normally supplies about a third of California's water. So less snowmelt means we are staring down the barrel of severe water shortages. And it all leads to drier landscapes, which sets the stage for a much higher and much earlier risk of catastrophic wildfires. And here it is. Here's the connection. This isn't just some random fluke of nature. According to a new analysis by Climate Central, a heat wave of this exact magnitude has been made at least 5 times more likely because of climate change. So this seems to be our new reality. Unseasonal, extreme, and it's happening right now. It really forces you to ask, as our weather gets more and more unpredictable, what's the most unforgettable weather event you've ever witnessed? Let us know your story in the comments below.